A number of people asked me about the handlebars and the Barends I use to ride. So this video is going to be about this topic. As you see here, in the upper arm you only have one bone. And if you test yourself, you can see that you can rotate this bone a little bit because this round joint that connects to the torso is rotatable to some extent. But what you can really rotate in your arms is your forearm, because it has two bones, and those two bones are capable of twisting. So this is your normal straight arrangement of the two bones, or you can twist it. And the problem with most of the bars out there, you can see that there's a much more intricate muscle work for the forearm, because you can do so many things with it. You can twist it, and some of the muscles even go into the hand and so on. So a good example of why a straight bar on a bicycle or scooter is not the most comfortable is the weightlifting bars. Like you see here, it's not a straight bar. They do sell straight bars, they are all over the market, but this one has some waves in it, and it allows a very rich selection of grips from bottom up with the palms up, or the other way down with the palms pointing down. And there are also some vertical bars as well, obviously, because if you have a vertical bar, then you have your bones arranged like this. If you have this curly bar, then your bones begin to twist, but not as much as a straight bar. If you look at bicycles, probably the most common and most popular bar that a Brompton would come with would be this high-rise bar. So it's very comfortable. You don't need to lean over much. The grips are totally non-ergonomic. If your hands were shaped like a hollow cylinder, then this would work. But look at your hands; they are not shaped like a hollow cylinder. So the grips definitely would have to be replaced anyway. But just looking at the bar, it is comfortable because you are in an upright position. But I recommend that you test yourself on the greenway. You'll see that the roadies are fast, not just because of the various characteristics of the bikes, not just because of the 36 speeds and the lightweight, but also because they have low bars, and that forces you to move your torso forward. And the aerodynamic gain that you get from it is actually much more than most people would suspect just by looking at it. Now, Brompton also comes with a straight bar. You're gonna go faster with these bars, and you're gonna be closer to like a roadie bullhorn bar. It's kind of a compromise. It's really like a sporty bar, but not a really aggressive racing bar. I think Brompton should be recognized for offering a complex bar. This complex bar offers at least a dozen different hand positions. You can have a very comfortable, sort of like a high-rise bar kind of thing. You can really force the pedaling and put a lot of effort into your movement by using a vertical bar, or you can lean ahead and take advantage of a better aerodynamic shape as you ride. So you cannot do the low bar, like a low bullhorn that you cannot do with this, but you can do everything else. Unfortunately, it has a cylindrical shape, so there's not much you can do about an ergonomic grip, which is so important in my opinion. What you could do would be to get some handlebar tape and put maybe some used inner tubes or some fabric in there, and wrap it around with the cotton tape, and that would give you a more irregular shape that your hand would be able to grab on a lot better. But in any case, the marvel of this handlebar is the complexity of it. It gives you a ton of different hand positions, palm down, palm up, whatever you want, and it still folds, at least on the Brompton. Now, if you have a recumbent bike, then you have other options. Then you have a low grip, just like you see here. This is not a bicycle, this is a leg press machine, and you're welcome to go to the gym and test your maximum on the squat and the maximum on these machines, and you'll see that your maximum power on this machine is up to 3 times as much as you can do on the squat, because the pressure is going against your hip bone and the lower back. And that's going to be a topic for a different video, but I just wanted to include this. So these are like really cool bars that you can have for recumbent bikes. But on the other hand, the recumbent bike, the grip does not matter as much, because you are pressing against your body. It doesn't really, you can move the bicycle without even holding on to the bars very much. So what kind of handlebar you have or what kind of grip you have on a recumbent bike does not make as near as much difference as it does on an upright bicycle. Now, all of the folding and compact bikes are going to sell you a bike with a straight bar. Some of them, many of them, will sell you a low bullhorn bar like you see here on the Birdie. This is true of other bikes as well. This is an Alex Moulton. The Brompton is not sold with these kinds of handlebars, but you can install them if you want to. If you do, the front fold is going to be frustrated. You're not going to be able to execute a full fold, but for some people it's worth it. You can still fold the rear wheel under the frame, and you still are able to park in so many tight places with it. So people do use that kind of a bar. What I use is, I originally had the high rise bar, and then I upgraded to a straight bar, which certainly made me a lot more efficient, especially when I compare my speed to the road bikes. It's amazing how much aerodynamics count when it comes to speed. A lot of people don't realize it, but that's why it's unimaginable for anybody to participate in a serious race, a road bike race, with a straight bar, let alone a high-rise bar. I mean, they would, no matter how strong they are, they would be the last to come in. But the straight bar can be uncomfortable because you're leaning forward. It's not a low bar, it's not a bullhorn bar, but even then it can become comfortable. And I have a video on how to install this and how to cut this. As you can see, it's pretty long, so it's not going to easily install everywhere, and it's going to take up a ton of space, but there are cuts here. You can cut them, and you can, I think I did that video in 2019, so you can just search for them. And here is my installation. You can see that the straight bar is roughly on level with the seat. If I had an aggressive bullhorn bar, that would be lower than the seat, and the comfortable bars are higher. Now this bar allows me a fairly sporty situation with the seat level grip, but if I get tired, and I do get tired after a while, I typically use the low grip, but after a while I do feel a fatigue in the lower back, and that's how I can move up here. And that's just so convenient. And it's not even just that, but look at how ergonomic this is. I mean, there are so many grips on this. You can also do palm up grips in the corner and up here, and the shape of it is not cylindrical. So you have plenty of options, and it's one of the most, it is the most comfortable bar end you can have, period. The company is excellent. This is a German company. Some of the materials are now made out of cork, so there is even an environmental input to it. And so these are highly recommended. If you don't want to go super aggressive and get a bullhorn bar, a low bullhorn bar, or to get the really complex bar, which is only sold by Brompton. Would that bar install on a Birdie or a Moulton or some of the other bikes mentioned here? Maybe with an adapter you could install it. It's not impossible that you could do it, but I bet the sizing is not precise. The Brompton has some unique sizing. And here I'm showing you the various hand positions that are available. Obviously the vertical position is going to align your forearm bones in a straight way, and that's the most comfortable way to go. And by the way, Ergon is also a super reliable and durable product. I have had these bar ends for over a decade. There is absolutely no problem with them. I believe there is a link below on my shopping page if you want to check it out, or you can just search for Ergon. There are many copycats, but nothing as good as this. And notice that I trimmed it, so the reason I have space on the handlebar is because I cut it, and as I mentioned before, I have a separate video on the subject.
I'll be back.